Because next fight, lots to get to here. We got
Yeah.
Paddy The Baddy Pimblett fighting Luigi Vendramini. And, I had made a meme earlier in the week where it showed like this like IG model, like it's like what you call a baddie. And then it showed like this goofy
It,
picture of Paddy Pimblett, like what MMA
what?
fans call a
Yeah,
baddie.
I
And
saw
like,
that.
it sums it up, man. And this guy comes in with so much hype. We've heard about him just years. Like, I'm not gonna claim to like be an expert. Yeah, I've watched the same YouTube highlights to catch up as the rest of you did. And like, but we've been hearing that name. It's been like the what do they call that? In a whisper in the breeze. Like you just kind of heard just like these rumblings, these utterings. Oh, there's this guy in Europe, Paddy Pimblett. He's gonna be a
Cage,
big star. I
Cage
mean,
Warriors two-weight champ. Kind of
yeah, we've
same.
been.
I mean, it's Conor McGregor essentially is what they're building him as because he literally is doing the exact same sort of pathing and style. He just decided to come over. This was the fourth time they'd offered him a UFC fight, and he finally accepted.
He finally accepted it, yeah, and like that's interesting. That's not, I guess, it's either the ultimate faith in himself, or I don't know, or the ultimate doubt in himself, right? Like, which
Right.
one
Well, he
is
was
it?
well, he
Which
was
one
saying
is
that
it?
he felt like he needed to get more mature, which I don't think he meant fight style. I think he just literally meant like, nah, I'm just too much of an idiot. Like I can't be in that league yet because I, I think he's a little bit of a crazy kid. You know what I mean? Like, or at least
Oh yeah,
was.
yeah, for sure, man. And nobody really knows but him. It's an interesting story, kind of an untraditional story, but it worked, right? Hindsight 2020, we were foaming at the mouth for a Paddy Pimblett debut. If he would have accepted maybe that first offer, maybe he's just another guy making his debut on a prelim that we maybe have seen him on Instagram or something, but we don't really care that much. But whatever. So whether it was intentional or not, it built the hype, and I mean, the MMA community, whether they were anxious to see him lose or anxious to see him win or just curious what the fuck this haircut is, like, people gave a shit about this fight. Like, this fight mattered.
No, you're exactly right, man. And like, he brings a huge fan base more than anything. Like he is
Yeah.
going to bring dollars to the UFC just by having his name. So that's why they've been trying to sign him so hard. But they didn't necessarily give him the easiest guy in his UFC debut
No,
either.
which I was cool with. I'm glad they didn't give him a can. That would have been a little WWE-ish, right?
Yeah, for sure. Or you could argue that would be O'Malley-ish to give him a can.
O'Malley-ish, Pride-ish. There's a lot of comparisons you can make, but yeah, I honestly had respect for the matchmakers and Dana and the UFC for giving him an actual test. Like, it would have been so easy to just want to build him and give him a can, give him a contender series guy, give him another guy making his debut, giving him another tough reject. You know what I'm saying? They could have done any of those, but they didn't. They gave Vendramini, who's a credible fighter, dangerous fighter, which he proved on full display. I thought he looked actually great. But yeah, without further ado, we got Paddy The Baddy Pimblett fighting, making a 155 favorite, but not huge. Like I said, they could have given him a Jack Shore minus 550, if they really wanted to be scumbags about it. Minus 155, fair game, tough fight. But yeah, fighting Luigi Vendramini, as we alluded to, plus 130 underdog. I mean, he had every bit of chance, and he showed that. I got to be real. When I first saw the money line, I was a little shocked at how close it is. Not based on Vendramini, based on just, I thought, the general public, like those big names,
Would
like, I
bet
thought it
him
would be
up.
like inflated. Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people maybe saw an opportunity to cash an underdog against the guy making his debut, but I think enough of those casuals placed the bets on hype, to kind of just keep the line honest.
Man, and what's crazy is it opened at Paddy Pimblett minus 185 and got all the way down to minus 155. So there were people actually betting against him for the most part.
Yeah, a lot of people thought he was all hype. And we got to mention this fight was taken in the lightweight division, which is cool because as top heavy as the lightweights are, there's not a super ton of like young lightweight prospects that we're high on right now. So
Right. It's more so just like that top 12.
yeah, we needed that infusion of youth and talent in the next generation coming in at a perfect time, in my opinion. It's like the opposite of the bantamweight division. The bantamweight division is like all young lions, and lightweight is like all old OGs. But anyway, man, a lot of hype on this one. But I gotta say, when I saw Pimblett walk into the octagon, it wasn't the hair, it wasn't the song, it wasn't the strut. He looked absolutely jacked, man. I've watched the highlight videos and I've seen some of his older fights. His body looked the opposite of that. His body was kind of soft and didn't look like a plus athlete. Looked like a good fighter with good techniques in those older YouTube highlights, but he didn't look like a scary guy, a hard-bodied guy. He came in shredded, strong, healthy looking, not sucked down, like not one of those weight cut six packs. Like he had he had the delts, the pecs. I mean, he looked fantastic physically, better than I've seen in any Google image photo or YouTube highlight. He looked great. And that made me feel pretty confident when I saw him walk into the ring.
Well, and oddly enough, someone had asked him this week leading up to it, I think it was John Morgan from MMA Junkie, but asked him, what's the biggest change that you see in yourself in the last few years, or what do you think we will notice as fans about you that is different than in the past few years? And he actually stopped and said that. He said, my physique. He said in the last year, he's like put on all kinds of crazy workouts and muscle into his routines. And he was like, I used to be a technician. Now I'm an athlete. That's literally his words.
Dude, that's crazy. I didn't even know that. I'd never heard that interview. I didn't know he said that. That was like the exact thoughts in my brain. Like that was what I was thinking. Because that was my biggest question mark. I was like, is he going to try to be some jiu-jitsu guy, or is he going to really be able to throw hands with these guys? Or if he gets in there with a stud athlete, how is that going to go down? Answer a lot of those questions. So to get to the actual fight, it was crazy because as soon as the fight started, all Cormier was talking about is how high Pimblett's chin was and how low Pimblett's hands were. Bad combination if you know defensive striking. Leaves you very vulnerable. And it was like he said it like one time, two times, and then like the third time he said it, Vendramini clips him and hurts him bad, drops him.
I mean, that was a huge shot he got hit with. A huge shot.
Vendramini's known for power, known for being a dangerous guy, known a guy being a puncher, rather than a striker. And he caught Pimblett right on that high chin, and I was like, oh shit, are we watching the hype train go up in flames already? Because we're talking maybe 2 minutes into the first round ish.
Probably first minute.
Yeah,
it was early. It was
early. You're right. It was earlier than that. And I stood up. I'm like, oh, is it really gonna go down like this? Like, is Vendramini just fucking fire extinguisher status, just all over the fucking coals in the hype train? To Pimblett's credit, man, showed that he is a fighter's fighter. Like, showed that he can overcome adversity. That he's not all hype. That he hasn't. Maybe just been fighting cans, he came back. I thought, I was really shocked that Vendramini wasn't able to finish him, but I mean, I honestly give all the credit to Paddy.
Yeah, I thought he showed fantastic recovery, and honestly, kind of like a veteran savvy in the that he just didn't get dropped or actually was able to keep moving,
didn't
keep his
panic.
Hands up. Right, I didn't panic. That's exactly right. He figured out how to survive the moment.
Yeah, man. And then he comes back and gets the finish of his own. And in 4 minutes and 25 seconds into the first round. So, like, this one round, like, just had, like, a whole fight's worth of action in it. We had
it was crazy.
Both men went down. Bombs were landed. I said it was crazy. It wasn't really any kind of wild or high-end technique. Paddy just started landing lefts and rights and had him wobbled. And then I think the ref was about to step in and stop it anyway, but then right before the ref stepped in, he actually put him full-blown to sleep with that last right hand.
Yeah. And that, I mean, he had Vendramini so hurt that Vendramini's legs were essentially just kind of stilts underneath him, and then he just got that last right and was done.
Knocked over the Jenga blocks.
It started with that nice uppercut and then a big straight right and then a left hook. So almost like a 1-2-3 combo that just rocked Vendramini and sent him backwards. And then Pimblett was all over him. I mean, his savageness in the finish was nice. I like seeing that.
Yeah, I did too. And I like just seeing like the kind of uncoachable pop on the punches. Like those weren't like technique. That's what I'm getting. Like, I'm not trying to take it away. I'm actually saying it's a good thing. Like, that wasn't like some well-placed shot that dropped him. Like, that was just like some kind of natural power in the hands, and that's what I think shows some of the upside, right? You kind of either got that or you don't. And it showed the additional strength and conditioning as well. But yeah, I didn't expect him to be that. I guess explosive is the word. No Paddy Pimblett highlight I watched led me to believe he was an explosive athlete. Watching him knock out Vendramini, I came away thinking, damn, that guy is pretty dangerous, pretty powerful, pretty athletic.
I really think that that Pimblett, man, I mean, here to stay for sure, but more than that even, I mean, him on the mic afterward, everyone else in this whole card should have taken notes. Brunson did a good job. Not to give anything away, because obviously they do interview both guys in those fights, but I thought Brunson on the mic was good. I thought Paddy Pimblett stole the show.
Oh, yeah, but that's what he does, right? Yeah,
right.
That's his thing. Like, he is the prime example of it is not just about your punches and your kicks and your takedowns. It is. There's more to it. There's the whole other side of it, and he is a prime example. No, I gotta say, because not to rain on the parade, I'm on board. I'm on board with the Paddy Pimblett hype train. I love it. I enjoyed it. It's great. He's fun. We needed it. It's everything it was cracked up to be. I did think it was a little cringy how many like direct Conor's one-liners he used in like one sentence. Like he did like a Conor McGregor like shit-talking highlight reel, but just like copied and pasted like every one-liner like back to back. Like, here to take over, cash, like just anything McGregor's ever said that was cool, Paddy Pimblett said it. Like I said, it was great. He did a great job of it. It was awesome. It kind of, remember after Michael Chandler's last win over Hooker, and he kind of switched into that WWE character, and we thought it was, we talked about it kind of cringy.
I hate that because you can tell it's a clear change up of his personality. Like, he was switching up his whole personality. I feel like this was Paddy just being Paddy.
I thought it was Paddy being Paddy, but it wasn't. It was just unoriginal. Like, I was like, oh, I've seen this movie before. I'm searching it. The entire world stroking off Paddy. We did a fair bit of it ourselves. Like I said, I'm on board. I like it. And maybe he'll develop more of his own character as he goes on. But I just thought it was like, oh, I've seen this before already. Like he's literally just saying the exact same thing Conor said, 10 years after we heard it the first time, and it's just like, I don't know. It's like if some like Johnny Manziel was his own thing. Granted, it went out and plunged, but I'm just saying, like, it's not like he went out and said a bunch of Peyton Manning and Brett Favre one-liners, or just maybe that's not the best example to use. But like LeBron is different than Jordan and KD, and like these guys make their own like brands. I thought he kind of copied and pasted a lot of like what McGregor did. No, there's two ways to look at it. Like emulate successful patterns, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And people obviously like that shit, and he has a similar accent, and even it reminds us we've been missing that shit. Like, it worked. I'm not saying it didn't work or he should have done anything differently. It just jumped off to me like, oh, he's like quite literally verbatim just saying the exact same thing Conor said. Like, I don't know. It put a slight damper on it for me. I don't know.
It wasn't as like incendiary to hear someone say something the second time. You know what I mean? Like when Conor came over and said it was like, oh, whoa, this guy's like saying crazy shit we've never heard before.
Yeah.
When Paddy did it, was like, well, we've seen Conor do it. Like, let's see what you can do. It almost puts us on our back foot. We're like, all right, then let's see you do it. Because it's not shocking. It doesn't granted, we're on the hype train. We're not off the hype train.
Yeah.
But it doesn't help shovel coal in to repeat or emulate Conor McGregor at this point.
Yeah, like I said, and I think he does have his own personality. And I think if he would have said something original, it would have landed just as well. Like, we were buying whatever he was selling in that moment, and he chose to sell us a used car instead of a new Ferrari. You know what I mean? He sold us that reliable, 2014 Chevy Tahoe that somebody else's family's kids Cheeto stains is in the backseat. Like, we like I said, we were there. We were gonna buy it. We were going to buy it regardless. Even if he pulled out the brand new Corvette, we were buying it. He sold us the used Chevy. And I just, I don't know. Like I said, I still bought it, still high. I'm just at like an 8 instead of a 10. Like I was ready
Right.
to be on 11. You know what I'm saying? I was ready to, you know, start, you know, cut my dreads into a bowl cut, and it just didn't give me that same feeling. But regardless, we do have a new star. Paddy Pimblett matters, and I think it's gonna be a fast build for him. Partly because he made Dana wait already. Like, you're not going to get a slow build after turning me down 4 times. And he kind of already didn't get a slow build because I don't consider Vendramini a can. And, like, you can't go backwards. You know what I mean? I think it's only going to get tougher. I think we're going to see him fight and talk. And it seems like he wants big names, right?
Right, yeah, he's not shy away from anybody. He said whoever wants it 155 can get the smoke.
Like, Hooker's already, like, booked. But, like,
yeah, he fights in like 3 weeks.
I think guys on that level, I think if you're top 10, top 15 in the lightweights, I mean, you better like be expecting Paddy Pimblett.
Let me run you a few names real fast. I think there's 3 pretty obvious matches we can make here, which are. But here, I'll give you the 6 names. You tell me the 3 you like the most.
Okay, I haven't given it too much thought.
It's gonna be 10 through 15 because I think Paddy is pretty much at that point. I mean, he's a 2-weight champion coming over. He's 17-3. Just scored a KO on a guy that's probably a top 30 in the weight. Like,
respected guy, yeah.
Right. So I'll just go in order. So Gregor Gillespie, Diego Ferreira, Brad Riddell, Fiziev, Sarukian, and Thiago Moises.
I mean, did you see that Fiziev and Riddell got booked?
Did they?
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah, that's hot fire. Hot fire.
Let's
I
go.
knew you'd be stoked on that. Oh, who was 15?
Thiago Moises.
Thiago Moises coming off the Islam fight. Ooh. Man, I mean, I got to say, those are all tough fights for Paddy. I think maybe Diego, I just haven't seen him fight in a while. And, I mean, he doesn't have anything. The rest of those guys at least have something cooking with somebody if they're not officially signed. I don't know. He's one of the higher ranked guys. So from a number, that's a fast build for Paddy. I just think, I mean, and maybe I'm tripping, but I don't feel like Diego's fought in quite some time, and he doesn't have anything scheduled. And, you know, I
want to say last time Ferreira fought was like our episode 33. So it's been at least like more like 6-7 months since he's fought.
And obviously, you know, Moises just lost to Makhachev. I think Moises is a tough fight for him just because he's so thick. Like, he's a big guy. Moises is a big guy for the division. I mean, Paddy could obviously beat him. I mean, a win over Moises got Makhachev to the top 5. I mean, what does it do for Paddy? I mean, you can make some interesting arguments there from a building the high perspective. Like I said, Fiziev and Riddell are already booked. I
mean,
Gillespie has a bunch of other people already calling him out, and that's I think probably the hardest fight out of all those guys, stylistic wise.
Stylistically, I think is the problem there.
Yeah. So some fun options there, but none of them are easy. But I mean, if Paddy wants to be considered with the big dogs, he wants big fights, he wants big names. Sarukian's another guy we didn't really bring up. Like, I mean, that'd be a fine one. That'd be a good next step,
I wouldn't hate that. And that's honestly a good proving point to see, like, can you beat this highly elite striker or not?
Would you say that's like the least scary, or like maybe the has the best money line for Paddy out of all those matchups? I think probably maybe not Diego.
Yeah, probably. I mean, him or Moises probably is going to give him a good line too, just because Moises doesn't do anything extremely well. He just does everything really well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. Some tough fights for him in the lightweight division, though. It is crazy how well-rounded those bottom guys are, though. And I'm more stoked for Fiziev Riddell than anything out of those. But
yeah, that's going to be great.
We'll keep it pushing, though.